Hey y'all, it's Jen and welcome to my channel, Iffer's Inklings. Today is a bullet journal video. I've got my two bullet journals. This is my regular bullet journal and this is my reading bullet journal. And I am going to do my January plan with me. Now, neither one of my monthly setups in either one of these is very intensive. At least I don't think they are. So in the spirit of having one video and not two really teeny tiny ones, I'm going to do my plan with me's together. If this one doesn't work out or it makes it a really long video, then I will split them up in future videos. So I have all of my stuff here. I have my like I said, reading journal and my regular journal. I have my pens over here and I'm going with black. My theme for the month is color theme wise for my bullet journal and my YouTube thumbnails and my reading spines. The color that I'm trying to focus on this month is black, and then I'm going to do accents with white and gold. So I've got my white Uniball and my gold Faber-Castell, and we are going to just get busy and get started. I am going to start with my reading journal since this is a reading channel, a booktube channel. So I'm going to start with it and then I'll go into my regular bullet journal after that. If you want to stay for the ride of both of them or if you want to skip around, feel free to, but we're going to put the orange one aside. I don't know why the color on this shows up weird on camera, but it is definitely an orange bullet journal. Now, this is a dingbat, which I absolutely love. This one is Exceed from Walmart, and it cost, I think, $5 to $7 at the time. It's a little bit smaller. It is, the height wise is the same, but width wise it's a little bit thinner, and I don't really like it. So once I finish this journal up, and I've probably got a couple more, at least one more year in it after 2020, then I will switch it out and go with a dingbat for the rest of the next few years. So let's just get into this. This is my 2020 section. I've seen all that. All right. I'm going to speed this up as I'm drawing, and then we'll come back and we will talk about what each of these layouts are. Okay, so this is just a super simple layout for my reading journal. This right here layout and my books read layout were both inspired by Michelle Huber, I believe is how she says her name. Her channel is Thor Wants Another Letter, and I will link it down below. Like I said, it was inspired by her. It is not an exact copy. That's the word I'm looking for. She does a layout of the calendar and colors in when she's read it. She does it on a yearly, so Jane, all of the year together in one spread, like this here, like my weather one is. But I wanted to do it on a month-by-month basis, and I wanted to track a few other things. So I will color in the square when I finish a book, or I'll color in the square on the days that I read. That's what it is. And then I will put a heart on it for the days that I finish a book. If I finish 2 books in one day, I'll put 2 hearts. I'm going to also want to track if I listen to an audiobook, read some of it my ebook, or read a physical book. So I'll also notate those. That is why my squares are a little bit bigger. And yeah, so this should be pretty, hopefully this will be completely colored in. I'll do below the numbers, so since I'm doing black as my color for the month. My gold pen, I could color it in gold, but my gold will also cover up the black, so I don't know. I may color it in black, in gold, and then just go back over for the numbers. I don't know. We'll see how it is when we look at February. Over here is going to be my TBR. I do know what I'm reading for the month of January. I've already filmed my January TBR, but I don't want to spoil anything for that video. So check it out. I will write in this. My goal is to read a short story every month because I want to do a short story discussion once a month. So I don't know what that's going to be yet, but I will list that there. I want to read a Kindle First book that I've owned prior to 2020. So like I said, I know what book I'm going to read for that. Then I'm in a book club where we meet once a month. The members, we all pick a book for the month. So my month is February, coming up in February. I already know what I'm going to pick based on some things. And I do actually know what our January book club book is because we've talked about it already, but it could potentially change. And then I'm doing the Book Riot Read Harder Challenge, which you would have seen in my setup for this. So I've got it here, and I want to get 2 of those books because there's 24 prompts. And then I'm also doing Pop Sugar Reading Challenge, and I want to do at least 4 prompts for Pop Sugar each month so that I know I complete it. Because there's 50 challenges, that works out to 50 books and roughly 4 books a month. And if I have I've got space down here on a month that if I'm doing a readathon or something, I could add more, but I probably won't. I just want to make sure I cover these 8 books and my short story, and that I don't miss anything. I will probably read more than that or listen to, because I listen to audiobooks as well. Only one of my books picked out this month is an audiobook, so I'll have some different audio books to pick from. And then over here is my books read. I will track the title and the author and then the star rating, or if I DNF'd it. I've got 11 here, and then I can add over here if I need to. I average about 10 books a month, so I may need to read more. Some months I've read up to 20 books, so it just depends on the month and my mood. But I can at least track 11 books here, and I can color code up to my star rating. I thought this was neat to see at a glance the title and the author and then kind of what I thought about them, and track it that way. So that is it for my reading bullet journal. We are going to move on to my regular bullet journal and get this one set up for the month of January. But let me know down in the comments below what you thought about my reading journal. Do you like the way I've got the pages set up and the things I'm going to track? Is there something different that you track that I might be interested in tracking as well? Let me know. Definitely always looking for more reading journal things to track. I don't do page numbers because, well, quite honestly, I never remember to keep up with it on a daily basis. And since I do tend to listen to a lot of audiobooks, the page number tracker system doesn't work very well for me. So we'll see how that goes. All right, moving on. Okay, guys, so here we are at the bullet journal plan with me for January in my regular bullet journal. This is my dingbat, and I discussed a little bit more about this notebook in my 2020 bullet journal setup for this bullet journal, so I will link that down below. Make sure you check it out. We're just going to get right into this. As with my reading journal, I'm just going to start working on the pages, and we will come back at the end and I will tell you all about each page and wrap things up that way. So let's get started. All right, so here we are at the, well, the end of the plan with me. This is my January monthly layout, I guess. My monthly introduction page. I did put a quote on here, trust the magic of new beginnings, because it's January, right? And that is all new stuff. I'm going with the simple theme of just these boxes. I thought I I like simple, and I thought that was the best way for me to start out, and I really like the way it looks. So here we have just my monthly calendar. On it, I will just kind of pencil in the important dates, things that I've got going on in my life. I know the 1st through the 19th is going to have little dots on it for potential work days for my second job, because Wicked is in town, and I'll be working a lot of Wicked shows. So that's how until I get assigned the shifts, I just put a dot on it so I know it's a potential shift. And like I said earlier, my theme color for this month is all black with accents of gold and white. Although I'm trying to do mostly gold accent, so that's kind of why you see it that way. The gold doesn't show up as well on the black as I would like, but we're going with it. And then this is going to be my moving checklist. I will color in these boxes. I don't have the brown handy that I want to use to color in these boxes, and then the tape. And then this will be the list of things that I need to do to get ready to move. January, I'm going to start with some packing and some decluttering of some different rooms, and just really make sure I'm going through a lot so that I will be ready to go when the time comes. And then here's my social media tracker pages. I really like the way these turned out. I've got 4 YouTube channels, so these are, of course, my primary ones are going to be my Inklings and my Be Imaginative, and then Journeyful and Inklings I can kind of put in over here, so I'll write the video that I want to do and the name of the video when it's posted, so I can kind of keep track of it that way. And right now, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with Be Imaginative for a little while or not, if I'm going to hold off on really promoting that channel and getting content up until after I move. And of course, Journeyful is only 1 to 4 videos a month on it. And Inklings is kind of on hiatus right now as well because of, well, it's cold and we're not doing any hiking. So I don't know how much that's going to be helpful there, but I wanted to have the spot for it. And then this page side is my tracking. Inklings and Be Imaginative both have Instagram accounts that I want to track my followers on. This is my Twitter followings, Inklings and Be Imaginative. I have Be Imaginative. I have a Pinterest board set up, or I've got a Pinterest for it. I'm going to start sharing things out there. For Facebook, I have Inklings, and then I also have a Weather Geek Jen for local weather, for Arkansas weather. And then for my YouTube channel sub counts, I've got it broken down here between the 4 channels as well. And I'm going to do a beginning of the month and the end of the month on all of these, so I can see the growth in the month. And then this bad boy is my symptoms tracker. I am not very good at habit trackers or anything like that, but I really wanted to make sure that I really tracked when I was having some different issues physically with pain, and then some emotional things, just so that I can make sure to have something I can take to my doctor and show with that. And over here, this key 0 to 10, these are going to be color coded. There is a specific color coding system I'm going to use, and I just don't have that in front of me, but I will use the Crayola Super Tips to make that color-coded chart. That way I can look at this at any given moment and say, well, I had a mild headache, or if I had a migraine, then it was probably intense. Sinus pressure, you know, I have some neck and shoulder, lower back, hip type pains. I've got some emotional, mental things I want to track. Am I irritated? Am I angry? Am I anxious? Am I having a manic or a depressive episode? And then, of course, down here, these aren't really symptoms, but I want to make sure I'm taking my vitamins, and if I took any Tylenol or Aleve or Advil, I want to track it as well. And then we have my weekly layouts page. I have been wanting to do a kind of a block schedule for my bullet journal for my days. So this is 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and I want to try and block off things time-wise, what's going on. Now, I know from January 1st through the 5th, I could potentially have some work schedules in there. The 30th and 31st I won't, but I have plans on the 31st. And then the bottom here, I will kind of just some general tasks, to-dos that I need to do throughout the month, or throughout the week, I'm sorry. I will make note of it down here. So that is it for my January Plan With Me setup. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite layout is. Did you take any inspiration for your bullet journal? If you have one, let me know down below. Let me know if you're going to reproduce any of these. Let me know your thoughts on the layouts. And as always, be sure and give me a thumbs up over there if you've enjoyed this video. If you did not enjoy this video, then you can just go ahead and hit that thumbs down button. I am perfectly okay with that. And while you're over there, though, be sure and hit that big red subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon next to it. That way you can be notified when I post new bullet journal videos or just some book content as well. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.